Here's another home improvement tip from Todd and Todd.
Todd, I understand that there's two different installation techniques when it comes to vinyl replacement windows these days. One, the traditional method that's been around since the inception of custom-made replacement windows, and then there's a rather new installation technique, very innovative, and WeatherTight's in on the cutting edge of that. Tell us a little bit about the two techniques.
Well, Todd, as you may know, replacement windows are made to go back inside the existing opening that you have in the home right now. The advantage to that is that in most cases, you can retain the interior casings, the wood moldings, if they're in good shape. And the method is a little bit faster and less expensive. So what happens is the installers will take these sashes, the parts that move up and down, they'll take these out, and they'll take these tracks out. And what that's going to do is to reveal what's called the jamb inside. And the new window is going to be made to fit exactly inside that jamb, so it simply slides in. Okay, so what we're looking at right here is what we've done is we've taken out the existing plastic runners that the old windows went up and down inside of. We took those out, and what's left here is the wood jamb in the existing window. In a typical replacement window installation, what we do is we have the new window made with its own frame, so the sashes ride up and down in a new frame, and that frame is made to fit exactly inside the existing wood jamb that you have in your home. So once we have that in place, we simply slide the new window in place, and that's the way it's installed.
Well, what we've just seen is the way that almost all custom vinyl replacement windows are installed. You put a brand new main frame within the existing window frame of the window. The advantage, you get to keep all the casings around the perimeter of the window and the stops. That makes the installation go faster and it is less expensive. However, one slight disadvantage when putting a frame within a frame is that you do lose some glass space. So let's take a look at a brand new innovative window design and a brand new installation technique available at WeatherTight.
So what we've done now is we've taken the interior casings off so we can reveal what's underneath. When the original builder built the house, he put the window in. This is the jamb of the window that we were looking at earlier. And this piece of wood here, that is the stud in the house, or what's called the rough opening. You see there's a gap between the jamb of the window and the stud here, and the builder's responsibility was to fill this with insulation. Unfortunately, when we have the casings over the top of this, we can't see what's in here. We can't see whether they did a good job, a bad job, or actually did it at all. Okay, so now, with a new type of installation that we're talking about called the full frame installation, as we go outside, we're going to show you that we're going to remove this jamb entirely and get back to the rough opening so we know exactly what's there when we put the new window in. Okay, now for a traditional pocket window installation, a normal installation that we see in the industry today, what we have, this is what it looks like right before the window goes in. This is called the brick mold on the outside. This joins the frame of the window frame to the siding of the house. This is called the sill. This is where the water drains off it on the bottom. In a normal window installation, this is going to stay put. And the window goes in, and then we bend an aluminum trim to go over this to make this more maintenance free. Now, in this new type of installation, what we call a full frame installation, we're going to remove this brick mold completely, and the jamb and the sill, and we're going to get back to the rough opening, and that has several advantages.
The first advantage is that by going back to the original rough opening with the jambs, we're going to gain at least 1 inch of space on each side of the window, giving us more glass space. Additionally, on the outside of the home, the factory is able to make a brand new brick mold out of vinyl on the outside, and it has beautiful contoured lines that really show the elegance of the window. No matter how hard you try and bend aluminum on the outside of the home, you just can't get the kind of detail that we can get with this new brick mold. On the inside of the home, we're going to end up with brand new casings and inside stops all the way around. It's going to look beautiful.
Now what Matt's doing here is he's applying an adhesive sealant to the frame of the wall so that when the window is installed, it will adhere to that and make a airproof and waterproof barrier from anything getting around that jamb. So here we are at the finished product. As you can see, we've got a beautiful finished product now. What we did was we actually had a pre-made manufactured interior casing that was built specifically for this window. Before we put it in, we actually took the time to make sure that it was insulated properly, and then our installers just simply slip it onto the opening, and within about 90 seconds we've got a finished trim. Today I'm here with Pat Upthegrove from our manufacturing partner, from our manufacturer who makes our interior casing. So Pat, welcome. Just a couple questions for you, if you could help us understand what makes this different than actually building interior casings on site.
Sure. What we use here, Todd, is a pre-stain to closely match our window color and pre-assembled box unit to fit custom to this opening. So it's customized in the width to this particular window, it's customized in the depth to meet the window properly, and it's customized in the height. We can do all that in a controlled environment at the factory rather than bringing in a finished carpenter to the job site, set up in the driveway or the garage, make their mess there, in and out of the house maybe 10 or 15 times per window to cut and assemble the trim on the window opening here. So it literally saves anywhere from a day to a day and a half of labor on the job site and all that in and out mess.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you about, is the time factor. What about the quality of the cuts and the tightness of the corners and the square? How is the quality of this unit better being done in a factory than it is on site? Well,
we feel great about the quality that way. We're able in pre-assembling to put these miters together extremely tightly. We're able to know what the finished product is before it actually comes out to the home. Inspect it and know it's the corners and the quality that we want before we put it on the house. You're not taking that gamble of having a trim carpenter on the job and looking at the finished product afterward and hoping that you get what you want out of it.
Do they sometimes fill the corners and that kind of to make up for the gaps?
I think we saw that on this house before we took the trim off.
We did, and that's not something that has to happen with when we have a manufactured piece like this.
No, in a controlled environment like that, we know in advance pretty much what we're going to get and the quality that we're going to put in the house, which is the key.
What about the stain matching? Because I understand that you take a lot of trial and you take a lot of testing to try to get to the closest possible match to the existing wood grain of the window. Is that
Sure.
Is that true?
Sure. We do spend a lot of time on it. Again, because we're doing it all in advance, we have that time and we can get it right. If you just look at this window, the cherry wood grain to the cherry oak finish is just a gorgeous look, extremely warm. I think the key to this whole system that you've got here is the ability to stain the solid oak to match the vinyl window. Is an extremely warm look in a house.
Well, I think it looks terrific, Pat. I really appreciate you coming out. Thanks so much today. If you'd like to learn more about our full frame installation, just fill out the form on our website or give us a call.